If you saw my video from 2 years ago where I built the Kings logo, you know that I called LeBron one of the most polarizing players of all time. But something else I said was that he was the GOAT and better than Michael Jordan. And the reason for that is because of a sports YouTuber named Barry McCockiner, a guy I watch a lot because of his realness and educated videos on the NFL and NBA. I do recommend you subscribe to him. But back on topic though, this guy happens to be a big LeBron fan, which got me to listen to his thoughts and opinions surrounding the self-proclaimed GOAT. However, there are many key things I feel he misses that taint his argument, such as him trashing on Kevin Durant despite LeBron's move, which I'll get to later, or him saying that because the defense in the 90s was better than the 60s, the defense in the 2020s is automatically better than that of the 90s. This is just not true. Not only is it not guaranteed, but it's literally the opposite. The NBA is now more offensively oriented and soft than ever. But an argument he poses, as well as many others and LeBron crybaby James himself, is that he never had enough help. Now, despite what my family may say, I'm not a stats guy. I don't know any of that. The main things I know are who won this, who was on what team when that happened, whatever. But I feel I can comment on this topic. And while I can't comment on LeBron and Cleveland before Miami because I simply don't know enough about it, I can say this. In 2009, LeBron and the crew made it to the Eastern Conference Finals. In 2007, they made it to the NBA Finals, something Jordan didn't do in his first 6 years. Sure, maybe he was carrying the team all on his own, but if they still made it that far, why couldn't he have stayed and won in Cleveland? It's not what Jordan and Kobe did. Jordan spent the first 6 years of his career losing to the Larry Bird-led Celtics and the Bad Boy Pistons. After the 1989-90 season, people were genuinely wondering if he was ever going to get it done, or if he was just a fantastic individual player who could never come through when it mattered most. But he stayed. He didn't complain or cry about his lack of help, and he ended up winning 6 rings all with the Bulls. After Shaq left LA, Kobe spent 4 seasons without winning a chip, including a loss in the 2008 finals. People were starting to think he was just a product of Shaq, but he didn't jump ship and join a super team. He would persevere and win the next 2 championships in 2009 and 2010. But LeBron, on the other hand, as soon as it got too hard for him, he joined Wade and Bosh and won 2 measly rings in 4 seasons compared to the 8 he so confidently promised. There was a precedent, an unwritten rule for superstars at the time to stay with their team and win championships the hard way. LeBron fundamentally broke the NBA by starting the super team era, which we saw continue with the universally reviled act by Kevin Durant when he joined the Warriors after choking away a 3-1 lead to them in the playoffs the year before. And yet we are still somehow glorifying LeBron's magnificent act of cowardice. And then, after getting smoked by the Spurs in the 2014 finals, a team he beat the year before, he went right back to Cleveland once Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love were both there and won an albeit impressive ring in 2016 before winning a Mickey Mouse ring in 2020 with the Lakers. It can be argued that he wasn't even the best player on his own team that time because there was someone named Anthony Davis. And of course, in Cleveland, when he lost 3 out of 4 finals to Golden State, people love to make the argument that he would have won if not for Kyrie and Love going down in 2015 and Kevin Durant being there in 2017 and 2018. And yes, I admit that's probably true. I do agree. However, legends should not be hailed for not being blamed for losing. It's about how they help their team win. So while Bron was a little unlucky at times, I'm not going to call him the GOAT just because of the bad break he was given. Also, there are just tiny things I don't like about LeBron and how he conducts himself. On top of him lying about stuff like not being good at taking compliments despite getting chosen one tatted on his back before he even entered the league, as well as flopping all the time, he also gets fans thrown out of games just for hurting his feelings. They can be saying the most minuscule of things and he'll point at them to the ref, and when they're thrown out he'll immediately walk away and it actually feels like he's proud of himself. Like, this guy is built like a god, and yet his feelings are as fragile as can be. And he also celebrated a meaningless in-season tournament win. It's easy to talk about professional athletes when I myself have never and probably will never play a professional sport, but the things the self-proclaimed GOAT does are just asinine in general, and they're why he is not the GOAT, he never has been, and he never ever will be.